Hey guys, this is Em and we're talking Kids Ministries. Today I want to share a little bit about a skit because we have a skit now that's available that you can download for free using your Kids Ministries. But it's a little different from your average skit that you may use in your Kids Ministries. See, a lot of people teach with a skit, but this is teaching through a skit. There's a difference and I want to share a couple of quick things. So we're going to look at two things mainly with it. We're going to look first of all at what's the difference and what's the purpose of teaching through a skit. How can that benefit in the kids ministry? So you can go check that out at kidsministries.com.au. It's available on the resources page. It's an Easter skit and it is Peter and Blindy. But I'm going to use that as a bit of a base to kind of explain the difference and have a look at that. So let's dig in. Alright, so first of all, the first time I ever saw this done, because most ministries teach with skits. They use them for intros, they act out Bible stories, and they do different things like that. So they, often use it as an intro for their lesson. Maybe in a kids club, it might be a little more organized where it's not just the kids enacting or the leaders enacting, but there's actual lines that people have learnt for it, but it's the springboard, if you would, to the whole day, whether you've got games connecting back to that skit, whether you've got lessons connecting, whether you've got a message connecting back to that skit. Often it's pretty much like a big intro kind of a thing that sets the tone for the day. But teaching through a skit, first time I ever saw it done, I was 13 years old. There was a group come over from America and they actually used this method for a kids holiday club. And it was pretty cool. It was neat to watch them do it. There's two different styles of doing it. We will have a look at the two different styles because as we're preparing for Easter as well, we're doing another one this year, but we're not using the first style, we're using the more rare style. And so we'll have a quick look at that. But first of all, what's the difference? Obviously, we know what teaching with a skit is, but teaching through a skit is where you actually use the skit. You stay in character, you use the skit to teach the lesson. So you will have object lessons within that skit. You'll have definitions. You'll have a lot of Bible within that skit. And so it is all within that skit, which then leads us to the purpose. Obviously, the purpose of using this kind of method helps you reach a bigger age gap. One of the things I think that is often expressed as the hardest in kids ministries is the fact of age gap. When you have a big age gap, it can be hard to be able to teach the year sixes and the preppy kids at the same time and everybody in between. The purpose of kids ministry is that we teach kids, right? And that we help them learn and grow in their walk with God and help them want to study more and help them want to learn more. So how do we do that? Well, with a skit, teaching through a skit, what you do is you engage with the little kids in a level that keeps them engaged. Then your next bracket of kids, if you would, they're also engaged and you keep them on the edge of their seat so they don't know what's going to happen next and they're engaged to the whole story format of the skit. But at the same time, you've got the depth, like the definitions, the Bible, and all of that in there as well. So you're actually making sure when you plan it that you hit every age group and you actually target every age group within that one skit. Yes, it does take a lot more time to prepare. Yes, it is a lot more difficult in preparation and preparing for it. But like I said, there's two different styles. There's an easy style and a hard style. The easy style, you always have a narrator. The narrator reads all the Bible verses, the narrator does all of that side of things, and people can enact. So that makes it super easy to produce it every week. However, we're going to use the harder version, and obviously Peter and Blindy is also that harder version, but if you don't want to take it to the full level, you can pull it apart and use elements out of it. So obviously we've left that open for ad-libbing. We've left it open for Bible reading within that, and we've just put references down, and so it looks like a small skit, but I think it took us probably about half an hour to do, and obviously we had object lessons. So you could even just pull out the object lessons from within that skit if you like. So go check it out. If you've never taught through a skit, I encourage you, give it a shot.